Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So I saw a joke over the weekend, or I assume it's a joke, and made me laugh, kind of made me want to make this. There's an argument between two people going back and forth, and one of the people said, "No pronouns in your bio, opinion irrelevant." And it made me laugh because it reminded me of like my early days on the internet and being on forums and stuff like that. Except it was never about pronouns in your bio that made your opinion irrelevant. It was always anime profile picture, opinion irrelevant, or like your profile picture is your car, opinion irrelevant, things like that. And it's always just a joke. It's just, to me, it kind of seems like a way to just, I'm not really trying to argue about this, so I'm done talking to you. That's what it seemed like to me. But I was thinking about it, and I went through that specific thread where that person said that, and some people got heated about it, basically saying like that whole old, so much for the tolerant left thing, all this crap like that. But I'd never done that with any of my social media. I never really thought it was relevant for me to do because, I mean, I look like this. You know, I present as male. I use he him pronouns. I was born a male, so it's just people just kind of they I've never been misgendered at all because of how I look. But then I started thinking about it because my Twitter profile, my picture is not me at all. I have posted a picture or two on there, but unless you would know who I am, just seeing my profile like that, you wouldn't know that I'm a man. So beyond that too, one thing that from reading through that thread, I saw someone who had said that why would I put my pronouns in my bio? I'm not trans. And I get that point because it does seem like that's specifically a trans thing. At least that's where I've seen it done most online. I've seen some people on my job who put it in their email signatures, but most of the time I only ever see that really on Twitter in people's bios. I've seen a couple of YouTube accounts, but usually not anywhere but on Twitter, to be honest. And I don't have an Instagram, so I couldn't tell you. But that kind of made me do some thinking because it's the whole someone who said, "Why would I? I'm not trans." The way I look at it is it's not so much doing something like that because you're trans, but you could almost look at it as sort of a kind of green flag type thing. I'm not saying it's perfect every time, but seeing something like that in someone's profile will let you know that they it sounds weird to say that they take it seriously, but that this is someone who at least understands the concepts, knows why someone's pronouns would be listed, or at least that they accept it and they're willing to make it more broadly accepted for people to do that. I don't I never really saw a point, like I said before, because I mean, look at me. Like people assume that I'm a guy and they assume he him for me, and they're right. They're assuming what I am, and because of the way I present, they're usually right. I've it hasn't been since I was, a teenager and over the phone that someone misgendered me because my voice was still high, but yeah. I updated my Twitter profile though to include that because I don't see any harm to it. And if anything, it just you could call it virtue signaling if you want, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. It is a signifier to let people know that this is something that I either agree with or approve of. So, yeah. If you haven't done that to your social media, I would suggest doing that even if it seems really obvious to you. If you're a dude and you look like this, still do it. Just, it's a, call it a green flag, call it a fast pass into letting people know that you accept them. It's a quicker conversation than getting really into it with somebody. So